Hey, what's going on, guys? I am back again with your favorite deck maker, Chris Lynn.
I'm no one's favorite duelist.
Not favorite duelist, best deck maker, and he is back with some spice. And yep.
Yeah, so I found some Genex lines. I wanted to do this deck profile because Jared wanted to, and also because I want to provide the Genex community with new information. Also because
my fault.
Yeah, it's his fault. And also because I'm making a card game called KYOUKAI that is coming out at some point this year. There is a demo for Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro for it on itch.io right now, and it's going to go to Steam at some point in the next during this month. It's getting approved right now. So check it out if you're interested in a Yu-Gi-Oh! Thing that's similar to isometric RPGs like Disgaea, Final Fantasy Tactics, that kind of thing. But I'll just get into the deck profile. So it looks like 4 random engines, but it is a Genex deck, and I'll explain how it all connects later. The first engine is Super Heavy Samurai, which limits your non-engine choices. But there's a chance this is less important or could still work alongside. If you saw Malcolm's deck profile also on this channel with the 60-card Malice Bestial deck, this deck should have been more like that non-engine wise. This is a 50-card deck with a lot of bricks, and it caused a lot of problems for the day. So it's 3 of the Wakashi, 3 of the Motorbike, 1 Big Bang K, 1 Scales, and 1 Soul Piercer. I should have run Soul Gaia Booster as well. That came up a bunch of times, and I drew Big Bang K a bunch of times, so I don't know if I should have run a second one. But I do know I should have had a bigger deck to avoid that. The second engine is the Frog one. So it's it's kind of a water engine. 3 Swap Frog, 1 Mirror Mage of the Ice Barrier, and 1 Freezing Chains of the Ice Barrier. These 2 cards are forced by the Genex combo, so you have to run these. So the Swap Frogs just make it in anyways as a result of that. There is a Toad in the extra deck. 2 Minstrels and 2 Dragoons. These are also part of the Genex stuff, but they're also good to draw, of course, as well. And there's a lot of water stuff going on in here that you'll see later too. The second engine is non-engine, which is because of the Super Heavies, they're very monster-based. But it's 3 Nib, 3 Ash, 3 Droll, 3 Bestials. Should have been 3 more Bestials in the main. Should have been Pirelli and Fualos, but I don't have any, and I didn't want to get any because I don't know how much I'll play after today anyways. But those should be real considerations if you're actually going to play this for some reason. And then the last engine is the Genex engine. So 1 Turbo. I'm not going to fully explain the ratios for these. If you play enough Genex, you'll start to either agree with me or tell me I'm stupid. It's one or the other. But it's 1 Turbo, 2 Magma, 3 Crusher, and 3 Power Planner. This is mostly driven actually by, in the combo, how many you use, so that there's 1 left of each level at the end of the combo in case you draw 1. Yeah. Although in reality, it doesn't really matter if you draw any of them, because you can change the order that you normal summon them. It helps to not have to freeze.
Yeah, they're all normal summon, get a different one.
Yeah, so actually I can explain that. So the level 1, when you normal summon it, searches a level 3 Genex monster, which can be, you can exit this loop a little bit into Birdman and Undyne. Yeah. But it can search Genex Magna, which on normal summon searches an Genex level 2 monster, which is Genex Crusher, which on normal summon searches an Genex level 4 monster, which is on summon searches a Turbo on summon searches a level 1 Genex monster. And I'll explain why you can normal summon that many times in 1 turn. At the end, unless you know how Genex works, so you already know I can do that. 3 Undyne, which is the core. 2 Controllers, because you need 2 for the full combo, but you don't need 2 in your deck for regular comboing. 3 Birdman, because they're Birdman and you need them to reset everything, which we'll see later. 1 Genex Turing, because that's the important tuner. I don't run the level 1 tuner, but it came up a couple times as an extender. But because I only run 1 Turbo, it doesn't happen that much. And that's something else I'll explain later too. And then 2 Genex Undyne, because it's not a starter, I didn't want to run all 3. So, with that said, it's probably most important that I just start doing a combo more than anything else. I assume that's what most people are here for, and also it's probably the only new thing here, really.
You show the extra deck.
Oh, the extra deck, yeah.
Yeah, extra side.
I actually will kind of show the whole extra deck in the product, whatever. 2 Genex controller, 2 Repair Genex controller. If this gets Veiler or something, you just lose immediately. You need a second one just in case. You get a second turn because you have so many hand traps and stuff. Not so many, but there's kind of enough. Little Knight, because if this gets impermed, you're not locked. Some people know to let you normal summon once, then imperm it. But if they don't do that, you can make a Little Knight afterwards. Yeah. Try to live. Toad as non-engine. Herald of the Arclight is actually part of the combo. Dark Dimension Soldier is a very important card. Generic level 5 Synchro monster. You can banish a card from your hand to summon a dark monster from your banish that is level 4 or lower. in face up or face down defense.
Freeze play.
It can bring Birdman back.
Top 16
And then the Birdman goes to grave afterwards. Duloran,
timing around.
very important in Genex. You know what? I can explain this guy now with the Duloran. So this guy, when you link summon it, is any level 4 or lower any level 4 or lower Genex monster. When you link summon it, you add any Genex monster from your graveyard to your hand. Every time a Genex monster is added to your hand, once per chain, trigger to normal summon again. So when you normal to level 1 and you make this and then you add it back to level 1 and normal summon it, it triggers the normal summon when you add it back from grave. When you normal summon it gets the 3, it triggers again. When you summon the 3 and it gets the 2, it triggers again. And you can just go all the way down the line.
Yeah.
When you use Duloran to bounce your field, it triggers the normal summon again.
Yeah.
Arciela is the core of the deck. This is the most important card of the deck, and I will explain it in a little bit because it's not obvious. But it's because Power Planner is a light spellcaster.
Oh.
That's why. That's the exit point. Yeah. Ancient Fairy is important for connecting into disc pattern sometimes. This is one of the open slots in the deck, or you know what? Between these two, Excel Synchro Stardust and Ancient Fairy, you always end up using one of them to make disc pattern. And I think I should be able to get my lines condensed enough if I practice enough that one of these gets cut.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to cut one right now. Omega, because it's kind of a disc pattern Omega loop. Trish, for the same reason. Arm Zero, because it's crazy. Arm Zero is a synchro that once per turn, okay, you can banish a monster in your graveyard with the same attribute as a monster your opponent is activating the effect of and negate the activation and destroy it. You can do that once per attribute. During the process of doing this combo, you use a synchro with all 6 attributes. You put them all in grave.
That's broken.
Yeah, and Vermilion Dragon Mech is a fire monster that this is very important too because the Birdmans get banished, but you can use this to pop itself to add a Birdman back, which triggers the Genex again and gets you 1 more Birdman for the combo.
Oh.
So all of that is shown in the line, which is, and the reason why I wanted to play it is because I've always said, if there's ever a full combo that starts with activating Minstrel, I will play it. And that is what I found. So let's say you have a Genex Undyne and any water monster at all, it doesn't matter what it is. Normal summon Genex Undyne. Undyne effect is going to send Dragoons and add Controller. At this point, if you get asked, you proceed as if you are not looking at their hand anymore because you can only go through 1 hand trap this way, which is kind of the problem and also why the super heavy stuff is important, etc. And the Swap Frog too, because you can start on the Swap Frog and still do this. But let's go Undyne, send Dragoons. Dragoons will trigger to add a water monster, a Sea Serpent. So you add Minstrel, and then you activate Minstrel and look at their hand. So let's pretend they have an Imperm and nothing else. Bistills don't matter either. They have Bistills, the same combo happens. So after you do that, you link summon repair Genex controller. So on link summon, effect to add a Genex monster back to your hand. So you add Genex Undyne, trigger to normal summon again, normal summon Undyne, Undyne effect again. So this time you send Mirror Mage of the Ice Barrier and add controller. And at that point, this will trigger because you add a controller. This will trigger also, so Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2. This time it doesn't matter the order, but it's good to get used to this being Chainlink 1 because the old Genex normal summons miss timing because they're Wen cans from the past. Okay. So you always want this to be Chainlink 1 in theory. So normal summon this, add the spell to your hand, and then you can activate Freezing Chains of the Ice Barrier and summon this back. So you are locked after you use this normal summon into only synchro summoning for the rest of the turn from your extra deck. And every time you synchro summon, you have to use a Genex tuner, which means you can't use this anymore because it's a tuner that's not a Genex monster, but it gets used again later in the combo anyways. At this point, you synchro summon and make Arciela Sinister Soul of the White Forest. Effect to send a spell for cost and add a light spellcaster, which is Power Planner. As soon as the Power Planner gets added to your hand, trigger this effect to normal summon again. Normal summon effect to add a level 3 Genex monster. We're going to add Birdman and then stop normal summoning. Birdman effect, bounce this. Trigger to normal summon again. Normal effect, add a Undine to your hand. Add an Undyne to your hand, trigger to normal summon again. Normal summon, you have no more controllers. Synchro summon for Duloran. Now that you have Duloran, you can activate Duloran to bounce everything, including this. This is a tuner, so you have to get that off the field too. So bounce, bounce, bounce. When you bounce everything, this triggers again to normal summon again. Now you normal summon this, search a second Birdman, and then trigger this to normal again. Now you normal the first controller, and this is where you make Vermilion Dragon Mech. Vermilion Dragon Mech can banish the Minstrel or whatever tuner you happen to have in here that's not a Genex, ideally. It can be like Motorbike or whatever. Banish that to target itself. When it gets destroyed, it adds a Genex monster and you're banished back to your hand. You do not use this normal summon unless you have other normal summons in your hand already. Birdman effect, bounce power planner, trigger to normal summon, and this is when you start going in. You go 1, 4, 3, trigger, get the 2.
Like, he did all that just to get to this
Trigger,
point.
yeah. Get to, if you, so this is where you start if you just open one of these, but this is the ideal, like, you want to look at their hand first, do all that stuff. Effect, summon the 4, 4, get the 1. And so now in this position, you have a 3 and a 2. Banish this, synchro here, you can make Dark Dimension Soldier. Dark Dimension Soldier banishes this card to summon the Birdman back, and you make Omega, and Omega them 1 time. So they are now at 4 cards in hand. There's the minstrel thing. If they don't have a hand trap, pick the card you want them to have in their hand when their turn starts, because it goes back to the end step at end phase. So Birdman bounce Magma, special summon, trigger to normal. We're going to get the level 2 tuner this time because we already have a level 1, and we can normal summon the level 1 and get Birdman again. And now we use 3, 1, 1, 4 and make a Trish with all of them.
Oh my god.
Trish, now they have 2 cards in hand left. Birdman bounce the Magma, and we can once again go 3 for 2, but this time go for Undyne. Undyne, not once per turn, but once per copy, can banish a Genex monster engrave. It copies its attribute. If it's a tuner, you can then make it a tuner. So make that into a tuner. We're going to go 4 and 3 and make Ancient Fairy Dragon. Ancient Fairy Dragon effect to summon this from your hand, and this can be treated as a level 1 or a level 3 tuner if you are making a Genex synchro only. So 1-9, we make Arms of Genex return 0, and then 3-7, we can make this pattern. From here, you are able to activate Hydro and Undyne Engrave, because...
Can I actually get you all to go over to the paint content area to film this instead of over the public events area?
Sure.
Thank you guys.
Yep.
I guess
Full cut right here.
I can cut at the end of this combo, I guess.
Keep going real quick. Sorry.
Okay. Add back the level 2 Turing, trigger to normal summon again, and then make Herald of the Arclight. This pattern bring Omega back. You can Omega in the standby phase if you have to, but otherwise it is light, water, dark, fire. Earth is the Genex Crusher. Earth and wind is the Stardust Dragon. Oh, there's no Stardust in here. It's the level 4 this time. So this is the 6 attributes. So that's the combo you win. Obviously you win if this resolves.
Yeah, that's just game.
Yeah. And I can explain the other stuff somewhere else.
Yep, somewhere else apparently. Or another time. Or if you
or
want
we
it
just
in
be
the
done.
comments.
Yeah. Just
you
go to
tell
the
it.
comments. Yeah, I'll just tell him. I'll just tell you.
Well, we were booted from the judges, so
Yeah.
you're here first. All right, Chris. This is a very nice combo. Thank you very much. If you want to see more of this man, please just comment down below because this is the best way to get to me. But other than that, do you have anything else you want to say?
Oh, yes. The last thing is you have to side this for detonator. That's all.
You have to side.
You have to side for Sidra for detonator.
All right, I'll leave it at that. Perfect. All right. Thank you, Chris, and I'll see you guys next video.
Yep.